Have you ever wondered if your favorite Korean actor's beauty is actually natural? In a country where appearance can define a career, the answer might surprise you. South Korea is considered the plastic surgery capital of the world, with hundreds of thousands of procedures performed every year, including by many idols and famous actors. But the most interesting part isn't who got work done or who didn't. It's how each person deals with it. Some speak openly, others avoid the topic, and there are even those who swear they've never touched a scalpel, even with before and after photos circulating all over the internet. In this video, we'll reveal the most talked about transformations, confirmed procedures, and the best kept secrets of the Korean entertainment industry. Get ready. Your favorite star might have had more tweaks than you thought. Before we start going through each name, it's important to understand the bigger picture. South Korea is a country where appearance carries a massive weight. We're not just talking about vanity, we're talking about real opportunities. From landing a job to signing $1 million TV contract, everything can depend on the shape of your face, especially in the world of K-dramas, where every visual detail is scrutinized, praised, or harshly criticized. This pressure starts early. Many trainees go through some kind of cosmetic adjustment even before debuting. In some cases, it's even suggested by the company. And for those who want to pursue a career as an actor or actress, the logic is similar. The closer you are to the so-called perfect standards, the better your chances of landing a lead role. Having a symmetrical face, a slim nose, a sharp jawline, big eyes, and flawless skin has become an almost unofficial requirement. But these standards are nearly impossible to achieve naturally. And that's where plastic surgery comes in. Unlike in many other countries where the topic is still taboo, in Korea it's seen as a common tool. It's not unusual for teens to get double eyelid surgery, for example. And among celebrities, it's even more common, even if many prefer not to admit it. What stands out is how all of this has become silently mandatory. An actor whose face is outside the norm is unlikely to star in a romantic drama. An actress who doesn't appear perfect at all times might get passed over in auditions. And when a celebrity shows up in public with a swollen face, a slimmer jaw, or just looking different, the rumors start immediately. Did they get plastic surgery? A facial contouring procedure? Fillers? And old photos start spreading in seconds for comparison. But in the end, who's really at fault? The artist who gives in to the pressure or the industry that sets these impossible standards? What we're about to explore are stories of actors who, in one way or another, fit, or tried to fit, into this cruel system. Whether it's with openly admitted plastic surgery, subtle tweaks, or changes they still deny to this day. Not everyone hides it. Some Korean actors and actresses have spoken openly about the procedures they've done, and interestingly, instead of being canceled, many gained even more public support for their honesty. One of the most well-known examples is actress Park Min-young. In old interviews, she revealed that as a teenager, she asked her mom for plastic surgery as a gift. The procedure included eyelid correction and a nose job, and she's always treated it naturally, never making it a secret. Today, Park Min-young is one of the most recognizable faces in romantic K-dramas, having starred in hits like What's Wrong with Secretary Kim and Her Private Life. Another name that became a symbol of honesty is singer and actor Kim Jong-kook. When asked if his good looks were a gift from God or a surgeon's work, he joked, "It was God, with a little help from the doctor." He revealed that he had an accident as a child that affected his nose and took the opportunity to get a cosmetic correction. Even though the procedure was initially medical, he didn't deny that there was also an aesthetic motivation behind it, and fans loved the relaxed and humorous way he approached the subject. There's also the case of rapper Heechul from Super Junior. He mentioned on variety shows that he had his nose fixed after a fracture and even considered other procedures, but stopped out of fear he'd become unrecognizable. His honesty resonated especially with younger fans who face the same kind of pressure around appearance. So what do these names have in common? They didn't pretend they were born perfect. They spoke openly about their changes and showed that having surgery isn't always a sign of insecurity. Sometimes it's just a personal choice. And even in a strict industry like Korea's, this kind of transparency becomes a quiet act of resistance. Of course, not everyone has that kind of courage. The next group of actors on our list includes those who have changed a lot, but avoid the topic as much as possible. Old photos say one thing, their current appearance says another, but their lips remain sealed. Now we're entering the most controversial part. Actors and actresses who have changed significantly over the years but have never admitted to getting plastic surgery. What's most curious is that, even with clear before and after comparisons, most of them prefer to stay silent. One of the most frequently mentioned names is Sun Ye-jin, one of Korea's most respected actresses. Ever since she gained global fame through Crash Landing on You, many started analyzing her current look and comparing it to her rookie days. The most common suspicion is a subtle nose job, along with possible fillers and Botox. But she's never addressed the issue. Not to confirm, not to deny. Another name that often appears on the suspicious transformation lists is Shin Min-ah. Known for her natural beauty and roles in dramas like Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, the actress has also had her face analyzed closely online. Netizens point to possible facial contouring over the years years, along with subtle changes to her chin and eyes. Still, she has always kept a low profile, avoiding controversy and steering clear of this kind of conversation. And of course, we can't leave out Hyun Bin, the heartthrob of countless K-dramas. Early in his career, he had a slightly wider face and softer features. Over time, his chin got sharper, his jawline more defined, and his nose appears more symmetrical. But like the others, he's never spoken about it, and maybe he doesn't have to. At this point in his career, his image is already too solid to be shaken by speculation like this. These cases divide public opinion. Some people say, well, if the change is obvious, why not just admit it? But others believe no one is obligated to disclose what they do or don't do to their own face. The lingering question is, does silence protect a career, or does it only fuel more rumors? Because the more these actors avoid the topic, the more the public speculates. And sometimes speculation speaks louder than the truth. There's a curious category of Korean celebrities, the ones who've changed a lot but insist it was due to an accident, natural growth, or weight loss. And while those explanations may make sense in some cases, something doesn't quite add up when you compare side-by-side photos. A good example is actor Kim Bum, best known for Boys Over Flowers. Looking at his current face, sharp, slim, and symmetrical, you might think he was born that way. But longtime fans remember when his features were quite different. When asked, he's always credited time and maturity for the transformation, no surgery involved. However, plastic surgeons have commented that such a drastic change is unlikely to occur naturally. Another name on this list is Lee Min-ho. For years, old photos of him have circulated online showing a wider nose and rounder facial features. He's never confirmed any procedures, and his fans fiercely defend him, attributing the changes to puberty, camera angles, and makeup. But some argue that a subtle nose job might have happened early in his career, especially between Boys Over Flowers and City Hunter, when his appearance noticeably refined. Then there are cases where the explanation is an accident. As mentioned before, singer and actor Kim Jong-kook said his nose was reconstructed after a childhood injury. Other artists who mention trauma or injury also insist it was strictly medical, even when the end result looks aesthetically flawless. And we can't forget the classic excuse, "I lost weight." Many people credit facial changes to dieting, as if losing body fat can sculpt bone structure. Of course, weight loss changes your appearance, but it doesn't reposition your chin or correct asymmetry. Some surgeons have even stated that no matter how much the public wants to believe these excuses, certain transformations can only be explained by cosmetic procedures. The point here isn't to judge who did what, it's to observe how much effort goes into maintaining the image of natural beauty, even when that image has been carefully sculpted. Because in the Korean entertainment industry, admitting your looks came from surgery can put your perfection status at risk. One of the most delicate topics when it comes to appearance in Korean celebrity culture is skin whitening. Although few admit it openly, many fans notice visible changes in skin tone among certain idols and actors over the years. One of the most talked about cases is V from BTS. When he debuted with the group, his skin had a more tanned, natural tone, something completely normal and beautiful. But over time, fans began to notice a gradual shift toward a lighter, more uniform complexion. This sparked countless theories. Is it just makeup, lighting, skincare, or some form of skin lightening? V has mentioned in interviews that he started taking much better care of his skin after becoming famous. He said he didn't care much before, but now follows a strict routine. Still, some sharp-eyed fans believe there may have been something more involved. After all, it's not just his skin that appears lighter, his facial structure also seems to have changed. His jawline is more defined, his nose sharper, and this fuels ongoing rumors about facial fillers, Botox, or contouring procedures. This kind of controversy isn't exclusive to V. Other stars like IU and Taemin have also been subject to similar comments, appearing with lighter skin and sharper features over the years. The root of this issue runs deep. In South Korea, fair skin is still culturally associated with beauty, elegance, and even social status. It's common to find creams, sunscreens, and even soaps marketed with whitening effects, promising lighter skin with continued use. This raises an important discussion. Where's the line between skincare and conforming to a Eurocentric beauty standard? Because even without surgery, many artists make subtle tweaks to their skin and facial features in pursuit of an idealized image. V himself remains one of the most adored faces in K-pop, but fans still debate, is everything we see really natural? These changes might be subtle, almost imperceptible at first glance, but for an audience that follows every detail, even the smallest difference becomes headline-worthy. In this context, even skincare becomes part of a larger aesthetic strategy, where natural beauty feels more like a heavily edited concept. In the end, the real question is plastic surgery actually a problem? In the Korean entertainment world, where appearance is practically a job requirement, many artists feel they don't have a choice. Some choose to speak openly about their procedures. Others prefer to stay silent. And there are those who swear they've done nothing at all. all, even when the photos suggest otherwise. But regardless of the case, one thing needs to be clear: changing your body is a personal choice, and no one should be judged for it. The issue isn't surgery itself, but the pressure that pushes people, celebrities or not, to change their appearance just to feel accepted. When beauty becomes a requirement, it stops being something light and spontaneous and turns into a burden. And in South Korea, that burden is real, cruel, and constant. Maybe that's why so many choose silence. Because more than vanity, what's at stake is survival in an industry that demands perfection at all times. And as long as those standards remain unchanged, scalpels will keep sculpting faces in silence. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It really helps us keep bringing you more videos like this, with info, curiosities, and behind-the-scenes stories from the Korean entertainment world. See you in the next one!